Welcome back inside the film room. I'm Zach Goins, and today I'm joined by Juno Temple. You know her as Keeley Jones on Ted Lasso, the Emmy-winning comedy on Apple TV Plus. Juno, welcome back to the show. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me back.
I'm thrilled to have you back, especially because season 3 is out. It's a wrap. This could be the end of Ted Lasso as we know it. How are you feeling? What's the emotional state and now that it's all out there?
Definitely, gosh, it's a weird one because it doesn't feel like it's and in the sense of it just happened. So I'm sort of still processing that,
Right.
I suppose. Um, but it I'm so proud to be a part of this show and
Mhm.
to be a part of this kind of I guess light that it's put out in the world, but also vulnerability and space for creating conversations. But it's been so lovely talking to people, whether it's friends or family or people that I've met walking around the world or whatever, talking about how much it brings their families together to come and once a week all get together and watch an episode of Ted Lasso. And that is something that I think all of us will forever be proud of. And I was really moved at the end because I got the opportunity to watch the last episode with a bunch of the cast in LA, which was
Mhm.
pretty special. Actually, that was a very important moment for me. But how the show kind of wraps up showing this team and this team that have chosen a family, and teamwork is a complex version of a family, and it only works if you're paying attention to and listening to your teammates, right? And I thought that all the boys on AFC Richmond just closed it out so beautifully. I was so proud of them, especially when you think
Absolutely.
of how it started, and I think it was such a brilliantly nuanced journey to getting to see this team properly become this family that they've chosen to be. So that was something that I was really moved by. And
Yeah.
how do I feel about it being ending forever? It's honestly, I respect the decisions that are made by the people that created it. I think that Jason and Brendan and Brett and Joe Kelly and these people that were there from the beginning creating this story and believing in all these characters from the beginning, they did see it with a kind of ending. Sounds quite dramatic because, as Jason once said to me, he was like, obviously the characters go off and continue their lives, it's just that we don't necessarily see it
Right.
on the telly. And I was like, yeah. But so I really respect that. I don't want to be a part of something that has been such a heartwarming but also like human soul bearing show to become something that sort of feels forced
Mhm.
into carrying on if that doesn't feel appropriate. So I completely trust the decisions that those people would choose to make. But obviously, if we were asked to do it again, I'd say no, no. I would be there in a
I have a
heartbeat.
hard time
So
believing that, but I
no, be
absolutely
there with.
agree. You came in, you gave it 3 brilliant, perfect seasons, in my opinion, and just knocked it
Mm,
out of the park. And so to go out on a high like that, you mentioned the AFC Richmond boys being so proud of them, but let's not forget the women of AFC Richmond. I love Keeley, this character, where we leave her. Going way back to season 1, we've known her as Keeley Jones, independent woman. So to leave her as an independent woman here, with her own business, there's plenty of romantic options out there if she wants them, but for now, independent woman. She's focusing on herself, on building this new brand, launching a women's football club potentially. So
that
I
was
just
so cool, right?
it
To
was
get
it
to
was
see that
brilliant.
moment where her mentor, she comes with an idea to her mentor. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. That was yeah. I mean, the women of the show have been extraordinary, and the new additions this season were also
Mhm.
so fantastic. And I really loved the friendship that happens gently because Barbara takes a little more nudging than Rebecca does. But that was a really, I thought, really, 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 really special friendship that was blossoming too. Um,
I
Also,
love
Katie Wicks was very difficult to get through a scene with without laughing and ruining a take. She is one of the funniest human beings ever. She's fantastic.
I love the way that, you know, a lot of what we've seen from Keeley in the past has been revolving around the relationships at Richmond, whether it's with Rebecca or whether it's a romantic something with Jamie or Roy. But now to see you throughout season 3 in a large part branching off to KJPR, you've got Barbara, like you mentioned, you've got Shandy for a bit, you've got Jack. There's a lot of new stuff going on here. So what was it like for you to sort of, you've built this family over 2 seasons and now suddenly you're introducing all these new characters and kind of blazing your own path over here. What was that like?
I mean, I miss my team a lot, and I missed Hannah a lot. But at the same time, luckily we all based out of the same studio, so it wasn't that I didn't get to see everybody. But it was, you know, again, when you bring new, brilliant, extraordinary actresses into a space like that, you just learn a lot, and it becomes a new kind of eye-opening experience of what these incredible women bring to the table and how different each one was with their presence, of how they walk into a room, but also with their storylines and how they took you on a journey with that. And I yeah, it felt like it was I don't know, yeah, another sort of avenue of learning with these women. And their I mean, their comic timing was just also inspirational. And I think getting to see Keeley's office and see the kind of encouragement of it being a fun place and a place that she wants to be something that's beautiful and smells nice. You're looking forward to coming to work. But also what I thought was really interesting too is obviously we see Keeley go through something pretty difficult too, which is the business falling apart. Her company, the money gets pulled, the funding gets taken away. And the person she knows that she needs to go talk to about all of the stuff kind of leading up to that is Rebecca. And so I think that's, I liked that she gets to go back and see the woman who has inspired her to do this and who she trusts to give her an honest answer, because she's been the owner and the female leader of a business and a company and a team, which, you know, she really accepts it as a team at the end. That I thought was so great. She accepts it before that, but I think when it's just for her, it's no longer about just winning out of revenge or any of those things. That's all gone, you know. But I thought that was really special, and I thought Rebecca's advice for Keeley when she has the tape get leaked and she's asked to give this statement and she tells her to let Jack surprise her, I thought was such a beautiful scene of what a really, really true friend would do, you know. And then obviously the kind of way that Keeley can't really approach telling anybody about the business falling apart, and how Rebecca, not even a flicker of judgment, not a question that Keeley's not good enough to do what she's doing. And so, you know, the fact that core friendship came back really strong still. So Keeley goes off and she is independent in that, but her mentor and best, you know, female inspiration, I think, is very present for her too.
And even though you haven't been together, you know, the whole season, a lot of time apart, there's still that such a strong foundation and pride and relationship between the two of you that it is the like call me up, no questions asked, what do you need sort of friendship, and it absolutely shines through in those moments that you were just talking about.
Yeah, I also thought it was how whenever anybody new from Keeley's office meets Rebecca, their reactions brilliant, because she's like, everyone's like in awe, you know. And I thought that was so the way how Shandy approaches her, who Shandy was so great, and how Barbara is so polite.
Barbara wants her to be the boss rather than Keeley. But I love how Rebecca has been obviously the mentor, the inspiration for Keeley, and then you kind of try to pass that along to Shandy as she comes in. She's your Keeley that you're trying to adopt here. You know, she dates footballers, used to be a model. Like, you're trying to kind of form her on this path, and obviously it doesn't go the same successful route that you did under Rebecca, but I still love that it teaches Keeley so much about, you know, ownership and taking responsibility, how to be a good boss. And I think we see
and how to do it kindly
go forward. Yeah.
Even if it's uncomfortable, how to do it with kindness, right? And also how to approach the situation with Barbara when Barbara immediately is cruel to Shandy, and how that story all but then actually, you know, Keeley has to be accountable when it didn't work out quite with Shandy. Doesn't mean it wouldn't work out for Shandy in a different PR company, or if she started her own setup. It's just that she's doing things differently, and she's doing things in a way that, yeah, I think Keeley thought would work. And you know, I that was one thing I remember talking with Jason about. It's not like they're not going to speak again, you know. It will, that their friendship will continue. It might take a minute, but
after the smell of the goat poop washes off, that'll take a little bit to get rid of.
Oh yeah. And then also, you know, I thought it was really, really great how, again, with the, like you said, the romances that Keeley has had throughout this incredible journey, and how much they kind of grow and change throughout this season, and the impact that has on Keeley and her witnessing that, you know, like when Jamie is accountable and comes up to her house and apologizes for that email being leaked, and then also how Roy comes to her and asks for help with Jamie, which is something that I think from the absolute get-go of being, you know, involved with the Richmond team and dating Jamie Tartt, she knows that those two are going to be able to be a real tour de force for each other, and actually both of them will teach each other things, and also both will learn how to learn from each other. And I think she knew that from the beginning. Yeah, so her getting to see that, I think, was a very important thing, and another reason why she's like, get out, both of you, fuck off, you idiots, you know. And then it's like, because they still have their journey to go as well while she's on hers. They've still got so I thought that was really special too.
Yeah, I love the trio, the unit that we get, where even though at the end we still in the finale have them kind of having this bonehead macho moment trying to fight for you, but we see it in that flash forward at the end with them all going together to the cookout, and you know, Phoebe's there. Like, there's just such a strong sense, and even in the Mom City episode where we go to Jamie's house, of like these three together, romantic or not, like it's such a strong unit that you've built together. And I think it's just like such a brilliant friendship, romantic triangle, whatever you want to call it, that I love those three together so much.
Yeah, me too. The three amigos, for sure. I couldn't agree more. And also, I love that scene where they both show up. It sort of mimics the scene in episode 1, I believe it is, with Elodie and Brett.
They're sitting down at the table.
Yeah, but that actually also Keeley in some ways has grown throughout the season to be able to sit at the end of the table and be the one that's giving, like, you know, she's the one in the power being like, I get it, I understand, get the fuck out, you know. And so it feels, I really liked how it mimicked that scene. Actually, I thought it was really, really cool that and also the minute that she closes the door, that Jamie's like, you hungry? And you know they're gonna go and eat together now. I thought that was, I thought this season was so again, it's the brilliance of the writers of this show is that they really take you to a place of your heart feeling so warm and so filled with joy, and then just before it becomes like cheesy, it takes a turn, and then it will start talking about, you know, a grown man having panic attacks, and then follow a kind of more serious human journey, and one that might be scarier, might be more frustrating, whatever it is. And then before it gets a little too dark, it turns into a heartwarming situation again. And I think that's a really great way of exploring humanity, you know?
Yeah, it's the perfect balance of knowing exactly what heartstrings to pull on to get you in the perfect mood. But Juno, thank you so much for all of this, for this show. It's been brilliant. Thank you for being so generous with your time here and stopping by. And I'm so excited to follow. If there is a future of Ted Lasso, you know I'll be there. And at least through this award season, I'll be the cheerleader on the sidelines for Richmond and everybody involved. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And yeah, truly, I'm so grateful to this team of extraordinary humans that I got to be a part of their team.